So the bulk of our conversation today is not anything close to what you do for a living, you know. The bulk of our discussion today is going to be around the kind of conversations all of us, most of us Africans have on social media. For us, is on LinkedIn, okay? But it's more than LinkedIn. All over social media. Say I go to Facebook and I joined several African focus groups with younger people, okay, age early 20s to 35, most of them. You know, when I'm there, they don't know I'm an old man, okay? They think I just go there, see what they're doing, I chime in once in a while. But what I've discovered is that most Africans of that age, 20s to 30s, they get most of their news on social media. Okay. And what they talk about mostly is about the West. It's always the West, the West, the West, the West, the West. Okay. And they don't, the way they go on about it is disturbing to me. Okay. Because they don't seem to analyze things properly, and everything they talk about is always negative, negative, negative. Now, that's because most of the news they hear or they read and they talk about is about colonialism. Okay. Now, I know it was important, okay, for us to talk about it, but when we make it a predominant talking point, it's as if we don't have anything else to talk about. We in Africa, we have a lot of challenges that we need to focus on. Okay. And when I see our young people not focusing on any other thing, not even discussing the opportunities around them, but all they talk about is the West, the West, the West. So I want to get your take about this. How do you think it's the impact of talking about it this much is good for us? Let's start that way. What's your take on that?
All right. I think that first and foremost, there's a lot of shift in terms of personal values as it relates to us.
Okay.
First and foremost, one of the impacts of colonialism is to make you feel less about who you are,
yeah,
and feel more about who your oppressor is.
Okay.
You know, I mean, even if you're in a normal relationship and you're in a relationship with somebody who is a narcissist or who is a bully,
yeah,
the side effect of that is always that you always believe less, think less of yourself, and think more of the other person.
Okay.
And that does not necessarily translate to reality.
Yeah.
You know. But my big challenge, however, in addition, this is more like an octopus. It has a lot of different heads.
Tentacles. Yes.
Yes, it has a lot of different heads to it.
Yeah.
So that's one part about the colonial aspect. The other part is that we are too much into instant gratification as a people.
Okay.
If you look at even the older generation, people have let go those basic principles that we all picked up growing up back in the days.
Yeah.
Like you are offered a cake or you're given a food to eat, for instance. I know it does not necessarily correlate, but it has a lot of information in that. You're given a food to eat, and there's a piece of meat in that food.
Yes.
Normally, the way we grew up, we were trained to eat the food first and
Yeah.
then eat your meat.
Yes.
And even psychologists even agree that when you see people who were trained that way, they know how to to keep the enjoyment first and get the job done first, and then
Yeah.
come back to that.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of pop consumption which is affecting the way we think and the way we see life generally.
Mm.
So if we go back to the area of colonialism, we discover that we're dwelling so much on this issue because we all feel like we are the victims. We are victims, of
Okay.
course, but we have refused to call ourselves to a local meeting.
Yeah.
Like if you have a family problem, families call themselves for a meeting and say, okay, you did this, you did that. Okay, can we resolve it? Let's push this in the past and now refocus,
Yeah.
on what
On
we
the
have at
goal of
hand,
the family.
or yes, on the goal of the family,
Yeah.
the situation. How do we move past this situation?
Yeah.
Okay, how do we move past this situation? So part of the thing that colonialism has done or imperialism has done is to constantly give the narrative. We've bought into this narrative that we are so helpless, that the guys that colonized us did it on their own, that they have a better culture than ours.
Mm.
So it's more like everything that comes from Africa culturally is
Bad or
is
negative.
is is, is negative.
Yeah.
So we need to begin to challenge. I mean, you made mention of a lot of young people,
Yeah.
getting their information on social media.
Yeah.
So that is why somebody like me, I've decided to play big on the social media to also spar. In boxing is what they call, is it sparring or something like that, to
Yeah.
also throw jabs with this fake news or half truths or lies or content without details.
Yeah.
So when people like us are beginning to occupy that space and talk about our own local history and talk about the importance, of studying, of reading, of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
We might not catch the whole buck, but we'll catch a whole lot. And so
Yes.
when I write most times, I hammer so much on taking responsibility.
Yeah. Like
You
me,
know,
like myself. Yeah.
so we have a lot of challenges, but we just have to take it from that point of taking responsibility, delayed gratification, and also putting out content on the social media to challenge some of the half truths and the lies. you know so that's how I would attack that question.
Yeah.